now, and then we'll do then we'll do ukulele tunes. Maybe we'll. So I've been thinking a lot about like where I come from, and it's partly because it's like built into all all the prayers in Judaism are always about like returning to Jerusalem and like stuff from like a long time ago. So not too long ago, I was like thinking about, well, how did I get here to America? So I started doing some research, and I found some really interesting stuff. I found the marriage certificate of my great-grandfather, who had my exact name, from Lithuania, and I found it online, like a facsimile of it online, which is awesome.
Shipping. Good shipping.
Yeah. I don't even know how it got online actually, because it wasn't like in their archive. But anyway, and then I found a map. And the thing is, like, my father had always told me, and my grandfather, who I knew, I don't know my great-grandparents, but my grandfather always told me that I was from a long line of teachers. And, I had no reason not to accept that, but the only evidence I had was that my grandfather was a teacher and my father was a teacher, and I swore I'd never be a teacher, but I ended up being a teacher. So, it kind of feels like it's in there somewhere. But then I found this map. And it's the map of the town that my family lived in for apparently a long time, and I cleaned it up and printed it out in a larger format. I'm going to pass it around if you guys want to look at it, but I just want to read some of the highlights so you can know what to look for. First of all, it's like this little shtetl of mostly Jews, because it has very clearly marked up in the corner where the Gesel is, Goyim lived here. So obviously that was something of a novelty. And then at the bottom, then there's a Catholic church there, and then there's the home of the Poritz. The Poritz is like the landowner, and like if you grow up in yeshiva the way I did, like you've heard a million stories about Poritzes and how horrible they were. So so he was down there at the bottom, and then but that stuff, I mean, that wasn't what I was excited about. What I was really excited about was the druggist. Who lives over here, but not having anything to do with drugs, because in parentheses, the guy who wrote this map felt it important to write, he had a piano. Just to give you like a picture of what life was like, the guy had a piano, that's what he was known for. I mean, the fact that he, was a druggist and like helped people, I mean, any case. And then I'm looking through this thing, this town is called Panadel, and up here, there's all the synagogues and the bathhouse, the ritual bathhouse. And then up on top, my last name is Skaist, actually. Shmuel is my first name. Rav is like a familiar way of saying rabbi. And it's a whole long story why I call myself Rav Shmuel. But suffice it to say, I had no idea that people would be soon referring to me as Rob and think that was my name. And I had to get used to turning around, especially right here. Because the first year, people were like, "Hey, Rob, how you doing?" And I was like, how many times can I explain it? But in any case, but my last name is Skaist, which is hard to pronounce and even harder to spell. I once got a check addressed to Shmuel Skaist, S-Q-U-E-Y-S-T-E. I kid you not. It's spelled S-K-A-I-S-T. And so up here on the corner is Zalman Skaist der Melamed, which in Yiddish means the teacher. And so I have kind of the proof. And then I was kind of thinking about, I read a story before I passed on, just this story about how it's kind of like a bizarre story, but just to give a picture of what my ancestors lived like there. They sold, a Jewish guy bought a cow from a non-Jewish neighbor. Apparently this Jewish guy wasn't exactly above board, because he convinced the non-Jew that the cow would never give birth, and so it was worth less money. And a few weeks later, the guy visited his cow and saw that it had in fact given birth and was quite upset about it. Okay, so you would think, what do you do about that? You call the cops, well, for 2 weeks the entire town lived in fear of pogrom, and had to stay indoors. All the Jews in the town stayed indoors until they finally sent a messenger to somebody who knew somebody in the army, and they came in to occupy the town for a couple of days so they could work out a settlement. This was over a cow. So yeah, so I was thinking about that. What kind of a life that would have been and how really, really, really happy I am that I'm not still living in Punnadale. But at the same time, I feel like Punnadale is living in me. And that's what this song is about. You're welcome to pass it around. Thank you. And this is a capo song. Oops. I'm not sure what my capo is.
Do you want to use that?
It's gotta be here somewhere. I thought I had it right here. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna play this. Play a capo. Talking, not making a sound. Wherever I travel, whatever I do, never compare you, and I don't really have to. Across the big ocean, down the river of time, your actions speak louder than words in my mind. I know all about you, though I know nothing at all, except an inscription on a map on my wall. On the death, I feel you in my bones. On the death, I feel you in my bones. Tried to do research, tried to read books. Nothing I've found or I've read really looks like it will bring the understanding I seek to help me understand the mysterious ways I behave. It's a struggle, that's true, but don't you dare suppose that I'd trade it for anything anyone else knows. One thing I do know is that in 1905 you left, and that's probably the only reason I'm alive. On the death, I feel you in my bones. On the death, I feel you in my bones.
Folks, you're listening to Rob Schmuel. He's not done. He's going to do 2 more tunes. I'm going to come around with the tip jar during this next one. Suggested donation is $5.
Can I turn this on?
So get your bucks ready and put your hands together for Rob Schmuel.
To,
There's people for that. There's people.
Oh, so much. Are you heading out? Is that?
No, not anymore.
So we're just playing 2 more tunes.
Verticals?
I don't think that's right. Ukulele.
Yeah, that's my father, they let him.
Let's do this one. I've got something to tell you from the bottom of my heart. I've got something to tell you, but I don't know where to start. I could turn this into a melancholy love song. I could turn this into a song that breaks your heart, but I won't. I've got something to tell you, but something inside makes me stop. I've got something to tell you. Wish I could take this from the top, 'cause then I turn this into a melancholy love song. You know I turn this into a song that breaks your heart, but I won't. I could do this on no sleep for many days in a row. All right, is this the last song? Okay, so, yep, sorry? Yes. One more after this? Or just this one more? I'll tell you what, this is the last one, okay, cool. So, I'm going to play, this is called, the Significant Song. Tell me that I'm tall, as if that ever meant something significant. Oh my God, you must play basketball, as if that ever meant something significant. Sometimes people tell me that they like my hair. Well, I suspect they're not going to see you more often. As if that ever meant something significant. Sometimes I think perhaps about twice a year, someone somewhere says something significant. Oh, I'll try not to fool you if you think you're so cool. You ain't nothing. Your recycled opinions are typical of the minions who don't know anything at all about themselves. Sometimes out of guilt, people feel that they must pray, as if guilt prayer ever meant something significant. And I check my Facebook 100 times a day, as if I ever got something significant. Oh, I'll try not to fool you if you think you're so cool. You ain't nothing. Your recycled opinions are typical of the minions who don't know anything at all about themselves. Now they don't know anything at all about themselves. Now sometimes people tell me that I write good songs, as if I ever wrote something significant. Now if I could always tell real right from wrong, that would surely be something significant. Oh, I'll try not to fool you if you think you're so cool. You ain't nothing. Your recycled opinions are typical of the minions who don't know anything at all about themselves. Oh, I'll try not to fool you if you think you're so cool. You ain't nothing. Your recycled opinions are typical of the minions who don't know anything at all about themselves. audience. Seriously, I played in Brooklyn the other week for about 300 or 400 people. I was like supposed to be the guest musician for this benefit, and no one would be quiet to even begin to listen to anything that I had to say. So, thank you so much.
Rob Schmuel, ladies and gentlemen.
And RobSchmuel.com is live.